It finally happened. I shat myself. This is the story of Montezuma's revenge. What is it? How can you avoid it? And if you get it, how can you cure it? I was very, very ill for about 12 days there. So it started with shitting myself, and then it ended a couple of days ago when I could safely walk the streets without fear of anything. So Montezuma's revenge is named after Montezuma II. Sorry if I'm pronouncing that word wrong. He's one of the last kings of the Aztec world. He took over all sorts, but then the Spanish took over him, and he didn't want to fight back, so the story goes, due to his religious superstition. And the name comes from, it's basically like a curse on light-skinned people travelling to Latin America. And it's basically it's sometimes called a traveller's bug. Basically diarrhea, vomiting, stomach cramps, nausea, bloating, all that kind of stuff. I had, sorry, this isn't what we normally do in this channel, but like and subscribe if you're enjoying it. We usually do music and news and stuff, but this has been news to me, so I thought I'd cover it. But yeah, it was like, you know, say never trust a fart. I've always trusted my farts. And then one day, about 14 days ago, I did trust a fart that let me down. And from that moment onwards, I had a very bad time. A very, very bad time. Everything I ate, everything I drank, I was in the toilet for most of the day. After about 7 days, I started feeling a bit better. I took some sort of I was just wanting to naturally flush it all out, get the bad stuff out. So I didn't go to the doctors, didn't take any medication. You know, it does say if you go to the toilet more than 4 times in a day, then you should go to the doctors. Them's rookie numbers. I was going to the toilet about 4 times in an hour. But I just thought, I'll just do it naturally. I'll just see what happens. And after about 7 days, I felt better. I was going out to a photography exhibition that one of our friends was doing. She was DJing that. So I took some sort of Imodium just to make sure. I had a good night. Still wasn't at my best, but I was fine. The next day, went to see a great band called Nina Hologram, which is kind of like a mad techno band. They were brilliant. And then I went home about 2:30 or something. Woke up the next day, felt okay. Had a nice coffee, and that's when it all started going wrong. My good friend Paul from Salford, he was taking us on a touristy day out, and we went to the the square, where the president's house is, and there's like a cathedral. And then I had an Aztec cleansing, which is great. I've got footage of all this stuff to be edited, by the way. They went really high up a roof terrace, and that's when my stomach just started feeling a bit dodgy. But I fought through it, watched the sunset, and then I went to eat some tacos, and then I was sick after about one bite. I've been kind of fighting it all day, and then I was sick, and that's the first time I was actually sick in the whole time. So I don't know if it was a different thing I got, or it was the same thing that I just pushed through. I just pushed through. I pushed through, all right. But I pushed through, and I think maybe I wasn't well enough. I was exhausted. I should have been resting, but I was going to all these things. But yeah, I was really ill for about 18 hours. I was up all night. Just felt I was going to be sick. Every time I lay down, I felt I was going to be sick. I took a Dramamine pill, which is an anti-nausea tablet. It's mainly used for motion sickness, but it certainly helped me a lot. Maybe about 60% better, I would say. And I managed to get like a few hours sleep, which was great. Sorry, that was my neighbours, and I'm looking like a weirdo with a microphone. But yeah, I got about 2 or 3 hours sleep, and then I told Joe, this is an international day of rest. This is an emergency. I need to just relax and chill out. But we've been invited to a birthday party by our friend Paul and his missus Helia. It was one of their friends' 40th birthday parties, and they invited us along. So I'd also been recommended by our good friends Jamie and Kim to try these things. So I took them, and I started feeling a lot better. It's a 20-minute taxi journey. We'll stay for an hour or two. If I feel bad, we can come home. And that was the deal. But after arriving there, I felt great. Instantly felt fine. Had a really good night, a late night. And then the next day felt fine as well. And I've pretty much felt fine ever since. So I don't, these aren't, go to a doctor's, by the way. I didn't go to a doctor's, but you should go to a doctor's. I'm not a doctor, seek actual medical advice for that kind of thing. But I didn't, and it worked out fine for me. Someone said it was an antibiotic, but it seems to be an antiseptic. So it's kind of like slagging Trump for drinking bleach and then you take an antiseptic pill. But whatever that did, the digestion is back on track. In touch with, it's gone forever. So that was altogether about 14 days. No, 7 days ill, 2 days all right, and then 24 hours of sheer illness. The worst it was, and then these things seem to flush it out. So yeah, my advice, if you're watching this because you have this, is my heart goes out to you. That was horrific. That is the longest I've ever been ill in my life. I think ever for anything, and I've had really bad food poisoning before, but it only lasted for 24 hours. So it was actually more extreme. Seafood poisoning was more extreme, but it only lasted 24 hours, for which I'm very grateful for. But yeah, if you've got it now, then eat bananas, eat rice, don't have any of that lovely salsa, stay away from tacos, stay away from seafood. Just have a very bland diet, plenty of electrolytes. Other brands are available. I actually prefer the other brands of electrolytes, but they'll keep you nice and hydrated. And just my advice would be try and just wait it out. But if it's taken after a couple of days, go to the doctors. I wish I just went to the doctor sooner because that was hellish, absolutely hellish, man. And how do you avoid it? You know what I mean? That's another question. How do you avoid it? There's not really a way to avoid it. I mean, it can come from bad hygiene from wherever you're getting your food from, but it could come from food, the water, the air, anywhere. I got lucky for 30 weeks. Sorry, 30 days. About 6 weeks, 30 days, 6 weeks, where I pretty much ate what I wanted and I was fine. The first week, I was very careful, but you just start being surrounded by lovely smelling food. And there's not really, I don't think I've met one British person here, and the Scots, and the Irish, but lots of Americans, Italians, Europeans who live here, and they say that they've never been sick. So eventually, all the rules that you hear on YouTube, like, they say, I've got a list here: no fruit, no veg, no street food, no seafood, no milk. The list just goes on, and that's before we get into the general safety rules, like watch out for the cartel, watch out for the corrupt police, and the occasional earthquake. So there's really a lot that people say you can't do here, and the list of things not to eat or drink was endless. Like don't drink the ice was one of them. But then one of my friends said, look, it's cheaper to buy a big massive packet of ice, which they call yellow here, than it is to just sort of make individual ice cubes. So I think the ice is fairly safe, especially if you're in a busy place. So yeah, just if you're looking at restaurants or street food, is it busy? Does it look like locals are eating there? That's a good bet. Does it look like it's clean? That's a decent bet. But I don't think there really is a way to avoid it. And as my friend Jamie said, it's kind of like a cultural experience that everyone's got to go through. But I think it's having came at the other end of it. I nearly had street food today. It was just a bit too soon, so I didn't. But I'll probably have street food tomorrow again. I think you could just live your life scared and be very eat bland food all the time. But I didn't come to Mexico to eat bland food, so I think you've just got to take the risk. Be as careful as you can, but you know, Moctezuma's revenge is going to get you if it wants to get you, and that's revenge for everything that the light skinned people did to the Aztecs. So the story goes. Sorry if I've pronounced any of the words wrong. I am a stupid foreigner and I'm just trying to learn the culture as best I can. If you've enjoyed this, please like and subscribe. If this isn't normally what we do, by the way, we're more into interviewing interesting people and doing music news and stuff and getting live sessions on the go. So this is sort of very off-brand for us. But I just thought it might be interesting for anybody who has heard about it, or who's worried about it, or is suffering from it now. And like, subscribe, and become a patron. You know, that's how this show exists, is because of the Patreon. So thank you to everyone who does sign up to the Patreon. It's patreon.com/you call that radio. And you can sign up for £3 a month for bonus material. There's also a way to become a YouTube member if you hit the join button down here as well. And thanks to everyone supporting the journey. Hope you're all well back home. Bye.